Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us. This is News Channel Nebraska. My name is Eric McKay. Let's take a look at our top headlines today. New details emerging around the deadliest school shooting this year that took place at Apalachee High School in Georgia. Police may have been tipped off about the 14-year-old suspect's plan last year. Sherelle Hubbard has more.
The shooting suspect has been identified as 14-year-old Colt Gray, a student at Apalachee High School. They say he used an AR-15 style rifle and he's facing 4 counts of felony murder. We're now learning that investigators searching the boy's home found documents that they believe he wrote referencing past school shootings. Now the boy's father, Colin Gray, also facing criminal charges.
4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children. These charges stem from Mr. Gray knowingly allowing his son, Colt, to possess a weapon.
Apalachee High School was closed Thursday, but a growing memorial could be seen Thursday remembering those who lost their lives in Wednesday's shooting, as the community remains in disbelief.
It was such a peaceful town, and just nothing ever happened. I didn't think it would be here.
And what's more, it's not Gray's first brush with law enforcement. In 2023, investigators in Jackson County interviewed the teen and his father after they say officials received, quote, several anonymous tips about online threats of a possible shooting targeting an unidentified school. The teen denied being involved. And although the suspect's father revealed that he kept hunting guns in the house, he told investigators his son didn't have unsupervised access to them. And authorities said they determined at the time there was no probable cause for arrest.
We're heartbroken. A young person brought a gun into a school, committed an evil act.
I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
Closer to home, one of the suspects accused in a double murder in northeast Nebraska has been ruled competent to face trial. According to court documents, 26-year-old Elias Reed now seen as fit to stand trial on double homicide charges related to a murder in Bloomfield this past February. A Knox County judge has ordered Reed to be housed in a general population jail. He's accused of shooting to death Kurt Strom and William Reffett at a bowling alley in Bloomfield. He faces 2 first-degree murder charges as well as 2 felony firearm charges. Reed being held without bond, scheduled to be back in court October 1st. Another suspect in the case, Kaylin Sweezy, charged with tampering with evidence. Police say she helped Reed hide the murder weapon. She pleaded not guilty to those charges in July and is scheduled to appear in court later this month. Well, just as the Secretary of State approved placing a referendum on private school funding on the November ballot, a lawsuit has been filed to take that ballot measure away. Latasha Culler is a parent of a Douglas County student. She sued the state of Nebraska Thursday. Her lawsuit asks the Nebraska Supreme Court to stop Secretary of State Bob Evnen from letting general election voters decide the future of the scholarship program. The lawsuit argues that voters couldn't revoke a law that appropriates funds for state expenses. Legislative Bill 1402 passed this past spring. It shifted a tax credit program for private education into a direct appropriation. Opponents of that bill organized a petition drive over the summer to put the new law on the November ballot. The state high court has not yet said whether or not it will take up the lawsuit. Another lawsuit in northeast Nebraska turning heads. 12 residents in a wind energy suing a county for responsibility of what they say is a $12 million loss. Andrew Pfeiffer has more.
A developing story out of Knox County. A wind energy company, along with 12 local landowners, are filing a lawsuit against Knox County. Now, don't get the name confused. North Fork Wind LLC is a company based out in Minnesota. Along with 12 Knox County landowners, filed a lawsuit against Knox County and its officials. The lawsuit challenges the county's recent decision to amend its zoning regulations in a way that, according to the plaintiffs, effectively halts a major wind energy project. They'd been working on a $1.3 billion wind farm project for several years. The company had invested over $12 million and secured property rights on more than 45,000 acres for this project. However, in July of 2024, the Knox County Board of Supervisors adopted a new zoning regulation that increased the required setback distance for wind turbines from non-participating dwellings from 2,000 feet to 6,600 feet. Now, the plaintiffs argue that these amendments were implemented arbitrarily and were specifically designed to prevent wind farm construction. They claim this move not only violates their constitutional rights, but also undermines federal, state, and local policies supporting renewable energy. North Fork Wind and landowners are seeking both declaratory and monetary relief, including a permanent injunction to stop the enforcement of these new regulations. They are also demanding damages and legal fees. Now, Madison County is also grappling with wind energy regulations. Now, the Madison County Board of Commissioners is set to hold a public debate that has sparked the interest of both wind energy companies and the public alike. Stick around for a more developing story with this lawsuit case and how it could affect the regions around not only Knox County, but in Madison County as well. Reporting for News Channel Nebraska, I'm Andrew Pfeiffer.
Nebraska's Attorney General sending out a warning about an extortion scam that's been reported to their office. The Attorney General says highly personalized emails are being sent to Nebraskans threatening to release embarrassing content unless the victim sends large sums of money to a Bitcoin address. The office also says the scammers tell victims they'll be arrested if they don't provide the money. Anyone who receives a suspicious email of this nature is asked to contact the Attorney General's office. Indicators of a scam include typos, benefits that are too good to be true, and request of payments not shown on billing statements like gift cards or Bitcoin. Student enrollment at Central Community College seeing a slight dip overall, but growth in the number of full-time students. Central announced a fall semester enrollment of just over 6,500 on Thursday, including 1,800 full-time and 4,700 part-time students. The total number, 83 less than last fall, but still more than 2022. This year's full-time student number, meanwhile, 3% higher than last year. Central has campuses in Columbus, Grand Island, and Hastings, with centers in Holdridge, Kearney, Lexington, and Ord. U.S. food stamp benefits in Nebraska that are unused will be expiring soon. The Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services says they're sending out expungement letters for unused summer EBT funds. The summer benefits are available for 122 days from when they're issued. The first summer EBT benefits were issued May 28th. Anyone who hasn't used all their eligible funds will lose them by September 27th. State officials didn't say how many EBT recipients have unused funds. Well, the oil market is in another tailspin and gas prices falling fast. Gas prices in the U.S. fell to a 6-month low on average, $3.31 a gallon on Thursday. That's down 50 cents from last year, according to AAA. Drivers in 10 U.S. states, meanwhile, paying less than $3 a gallon on average. Nebraska's not that lucky. The average price per gallon in the Cornhusker state was $3.15 as of Friday. That's still down 65 cents from a year ago. According to Gas Buddy, the cheapest gas in the state can be found in the Panhandle, with residents in Sydney paying as low as $2.59. Experts say they expect Nebraska could be among the states that will also drop below $3 a gallon over the next 2 weeks. And not many people go from growing up in a town of 400 people to become a professional athlete. But Michael Shively puts a spotlight on one Nebraskan who did just that and now has returned to coach the next generation.
Yeah, ready. Corey Hollick is used to wearing blue and gold at Foster Field. But this season, the former Nebraska Kearney great is carrying a whistle instead of a helmet.
Coach Held and Coach Baker, they said it's strictly football, and that's what it's been. And I don't know, it's been fun so far.
Hollick is assistant offensive line coach for UNK. He's joining the coaching ranks after 3 seasons of playing professionally in the Canadian Football League and United Football League. Injuries and the demands of the profession pushed him to his next step.
I didn't accomplish exactly what I wanted to accomplish, but I'm happy with the career I had. I was happy enough with the career I had to walk away from a contract to go play this last summer.
Ready, hit, vertical.
Hollick wants to impart the life or death nature of pro football to the Loper linemen.
Push them across the field today.
You have to have extreme urgency and passion, and you can't lack. And that's what it is. And I've learned that to run my own business, to come out in here and coach, that you can't have a wasted day because you might not have your job the next day.
UNK head coach Ryan Held wanted to put more resources into the offensive line entering his second season. He says turning to a former Loper All-American was an obvious choice.
He's a guy that had a lot of success when he played here, and I think our guys respect him, and he's done a really nice job, and I think he'll be a huge asset to us.
Outside of helping his alma mater, the Giltner native runs Hollick Skills Academy. He puts on youth camps and works one-on-one with high school and college players. Hollick hopes more can follow his path from 8-man football to the pros.
The percentage to go into professional football is very low, and to come from an 8-man is even lower. And I've just learned so much from this game. This game is my life. It's going to continue to be my life as I continue with my career.
Ready, hit, get out.
A career that, for now, has him back to his college roots. In Kearney, Michael Shively, News Channel, Nebraska.
And you can stay up to date with the very latest by following us online. Head to newschannelnebraska.com and click on the News tab there. You can also follow us on X, like us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend. You're watching News Channel Nebraska.